Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to Pepe Update today. And I've actually posted out the Bitcoin update, and I've talked about the Bitcoin and what Bitcoin can actually do. And one more thing is that we have to talk about Pepe as well. So here it is, and here we're going to talk about it. Now today, yesterday you've made a little bit of a positive candle closing yesterday. So basically this candle that you see actually means reversal. A little bit of a reversal candle has actually printed out. And also one more thing is to put a stop loss down at 927. If you do come down at 927 today for Pepe, then you can actually start to go to the downside. Now I don't have too much to talk about other than what I've been talking about previously with Pepe. But the one thing is, if you go and watch the Bitcoin update, I have actually talked about Bitcoin having the possibility of coming down to $54,000. And the reason why $54,000 is because there is a CME gap being created for Bitcoin at the moment, okay, which is pretty bad. Now I'm just gonna mark some levels that Pepe can actually find a huge support into, and that is if Bitcoin does decide that it wants to retrace to the downside. And this is just going to be a demand box that you have to look at. And I'm gonna take this rectangle shape here, and I'm gonna drop down the demand box just right over there. Okay, now the next best place that you can actually put a buying bid is, I think, down at this between 639 and 593, so near the 600 department. Okay, and that can actually be a drop of nearly, this is gonna be 35%. Now I'm not really saying that we're going to see a 35% drop to the downside, but there's one thing that is a little bit of an issue, and that is Bonk is really failing to break this one particular area here. Now you can actually see that there is a little bit of a break that happened previously, and this is a problem, guys, right? So you do have a break right over there. You do have a break. Now when you came for the retest, let's actually zoom in and let's actually study this. So when you went down for the retest, you did actually make one closing here, but the next candle pretty much went down, and this one was a fake out. And then you try to break up again, and then you're coming down, and even until now, if I do zoom in a little bit even more, you are just under that yellow line. If you can actually see, do you see this candle is still under that yellow line. Now this is not good. And again, I'm gonna go back here and I'm going to actually zoom out. So basically, if you ever see Pepe dropping down, that is totally going to be because of Bitcoin. And I will still say this, there's a chance that you do hold this retest and then you start to go back up again, and that is if you do not really come down. I think 900 is a stop loss that I can actually suggest. So if you do come down to 900, then you can probably go all the way down to nearly this demand box, hold the demand box, and then eventually finally break above. And then in October, Q4, in November, December, we actually start that parabolic move that we've been waiting for. Now, first days of October can actually be a little bit bad. The market is on the greedy side just a little bit. So since people are greedy, you do understand that, it's probably going to take a little bit of some stop losses and whatnot. And there's also one more thing that I noticed, and this is actually Binance chart. This is not Maxi, this is Binance chart. And it does look like Pepe still has struggled to break above this particular resistance. Do you notice that? You have been hammered a couple of times. Hammer number one right over there. This is another hammer right over here. You have been rejected here a couple of times, and then you go rejected here again, and you have been rejected so far. So the best scenario is also that when you break above, you should come up here, break above here, and then you can actually easily go back to the all-time high. Yes, this to me looks really clean right over there. Otherwise, there could be chances where we see it drop down, and if it comes down here, I would actually say that, you know what, this will be amazing for a trade, right? So if you do end up coming to maybe 629, 600 and buy at this point, then if it goes back up to that trend line again, we're talking about a 71% move up or a 60% move up. This could be my plan. This could be something that I'm very interested to do. And if it does break above that resistance and back to the all-time high, that's 171%, right? So that's all for the video on Pepe. I'm going to see you in the next one. Love, peace.